This is Jason Atwood, Montesano, Washington. Hey Steve, thanks for having me over today. Are you excited about moving to Seattle? Do you mind if I give myself a quick tour? If it's okay, let's use your kitchen table so we can lay everything out. Let's talk about getting you to Seattle. Now the first thing I'd like to do is review your situation and what's important to you about making this move. Is that okay? Great. So I have 3 bottom line questions for you. Are you ready? First, are you definitely ready to sell your property? Fantastic. Second, are you going to price it where it'll sell, or are you okay if it just sits in the market? Perfect. And last, and most importantly, Steve, do you want me to get it sold for you? Perfect. So, Steve, the purpose of our meeting today is twofold. First is for me to provide you with some important information about what it's going to take to get your home sold for top dollar, so we can get you to Seattle by the end of May, right? And second is for us to decide today whether the right move for you is to partner with me in the sale of your home. Does that sound fair enough? Great. And whether you decide to hire me or not, I hope it'll become clear through our meeting today that it's my commitment to help you get what you want. And if I can't help you, I'll let you know today, because I'm not interested in just getting a listing. I'm very interested in helping you get to Seattle, because that's what you want, right? Perfect. So the key item for us to discuss today is to determine the right price to put on your home that will cause it to sell. Because obviously you don't want to put your home on the market and have it not sell, correct? Right. So here's what I'll do. As soon as you decide to hire me, I will do everything it takes through my action plan to get your home exposed to all the qualified buyers. Because that's the kind of exposure you want, right? Excellent. So really, the key item for us is to establish the right price that will get those qualified buyers excited about your home over the competition, correct? Exactly. So in preparation for our meeting today, I did a thorough market study of your home, also called a comparative market analysis. Now, are you familiar with this? Okay, great. So there are 3 main parts to this market study. The first are the active listings. These are your competition, right? I call this dreamland because it's what people want to get for their house, but we don't know what it's actually going to go for. Second are the expired listings. Do you know what these are? Right, these are homes that didn't sell at all. They wanted to sell, but something went wrong. I call this Never Never Land. Can you see why? Right, because you never want to be there. And third are the sold houses. So this is reality, because it's what homes are actually going for in this market. So this is where we'll focus our meeting today, because to get you to Seattle by the end of May, in which of these 3 categories do we need to end up? Sold, exactly. So the purpose of the market analysis is to determine the price of your home, first as a buyer will look at it, and second as an appraiser will look at it. First, the appraiser, because that's who the lender is going to hire to determine the right price of your home based on what comparable sales are selling for, which is what buyers are actually paying now. And second, so that we can establish the right price to attract buyers to your home. Because is a buyer only going to look at your house, or are they going to compare to others? They're going to compare to others. So when they're shopping around and comparing, what are they comparing? Right, so they're comparing features such as quality, condition, location, and they're comparing price, right? Exactly. So are you ready to take a look? Okay, so this house is very comparable to yours. Notice how many beds, and how many baths, and how big is the garage? Okay, and what year is it built? And how many square feet? Exactly. Have you seen this house? So your house is a little more valuable than this one because blah, blah, blah. And this home is a little bit nicer than yours because blah, blah, blah. And this home is actually really comparable to yours because blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? Perfect. So notice their price. Okay, and then notice how long they were on the market. So how is that going to work to get you to Seattle by the end of May? Right. So based on what the market's telling us, what price do you think will make buyers excited about your property? Okay. So after looking at your house and reviewing what the market's telling us, I am suggesting a listing price of $375,000. I'm sure you can see why that's the right price, correct? Right, exactly, because that is going to give us the best price in the market in the fastest time possible so that we can get you to Seattle by the end of May. Won't that be exciting? Perfect. So do you have any questions about what we've covered so far? Okay, great. So let's move to the next step. So the net sheet gives us all the costs associated with selling your house and what you're actually going to walk away with after the sale. That's something you'd like to know, right? Right. So these are the standard closing fees associated with sellers. Do you have any questions on this? Okay, so based on a realistic sales price of $375,000 and a closing date of May 15th, here's your estimated net proceeds at closing. Now, Steve, is that a number you can live with? I understand, that's lower than you're expecting, but is it a number you could live with if you had to? Awesome. Okay, so we'll list the property at $375,000, which we have decided together is the right price, correct? Perfect. Well, I'm ready for you to put me to work. Are you ready to go to the next step? Okay, so here are the highlights. I'll lay everything out for you. The first is we want to make sure your house is looking at its best. This shows at its best, correct? Right. Second, I'll be preparing all the marketing for your property, and I'll launch my pre-marketing campaign because you want to get the most exposure to the market as fast as possible, correct? Right. And next, I'll launch our exclusive 10-day marketing blitz. Does that sound exciting? Perfect. And so your home will be marketed to all the potential buyers in the market and all the realtors, licensed realtors, and their buyers through the multiple listing service. Plus, I'll have it syndicated to over 5,200 real estate websites, including all those popular ones that buyers go to online. I'm sure you can understand why that kind of internet exposure is important to you, correct? Because you did want me to get you the best exposure so we can get the right buyers in here, right? Right. And so with that exposure, as long as the market goes as we expect, we can expect a lot of buyer traffic. And I'll be following up with all of that. And with that, we'll be getting the best offers. And I'll negotiate all the offers we get, which will in turn sell your property for top dollar so that we can get you to Seattle by the end of May. Are you ready for that? Perfect. So, are you ready to start packing? I don't mean right now, but soon. So do you have any questions for me before you're ready to let me help you make this move and get you to Seattle? Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to have you initial right here next to the CMA and the net sheet, and then we'll get the rest of the paperwork done. And then I'll get to work. Congratulations.